All right, hello boys and girls. We're going to be making a wind turbine today. And I'm kind of using some new technology here with my overhead, and we're going to try it out and see if we can kind of do this dual video so you can see what I'm doing and my face. So the wind turbine, what it's going to look like is kind of like this. So here's the turbine, and hopefully it's going to spin whenever we blow some air on it or have some wind. Okay. What I'm going to do is show you each step and what I've been doing. Okay. The first step is to create a circle that is 10 inches in diameter. So diameter is the full length of the circle when it goes through the center. So in order to do that, I'm going to measure my radius, which is going to be 5 centimeters. So hopefully we can see this in the video. I'm going to make a dot at 0 centimeters and a straight line the whole way to 5 centimeters. That's the radius. So that's from the center of the circle to one of the edges. All right, so my protractor's falling apart a little. All right, I'm going to put the sharp edge in the center, and then I'm going to take the pencil side at the very edge where it was 5 centimeters, and I'm going to spin it, keeping the center of the protractor still. And sometimes it takes patience with this, and it takes going slow to get it done right. All right, so the diameter is from one end of the circle through the middle to the other side. So that's 10 centimeters. The next thing I want to do is create a 4 centimeter diameter circle in the center. So this time, my radius is only 2 centimeters. So I'm going to do this a different way. I always start with 0 centimeters in the middle and go to 2. Oh, go to 2 centimeters. Same thing, pointy edge in the middle. I have to close it to get to that 2 centimeters there on the other side. And now I'm going to go really slow when I turn this so that the center does not move. And I'm just going to spin the one side. So sometimes it takes 2 hands, and I always go slow to make sure it's a nice, pretty circle. All right, we're going to cut this out. I'm going to try to go quicker with this so you're not watching a super long video. So, cutting out my big circle. We won't need the small circle till a little bit later. All right, now I'm going to take my circle, fold it in half, best that I can. This doesn't have to be perfect. I want big, nice creases because that's going to help us later. Fold this half again, which would give me 4ths this time. Nice creases, and the last one, it's pretty hard. We're going to fold it in half again. So if I fold 4ths in half, I'm going to get 8ths this time. And this one is the hardest one with cardstock. All right, open that back up. Now I'm going to cut on each of these creases until I get to that middle circle. Okay, that's why I drew the middle circle. I don't want to cut past the middle circle. So I'm cutting on all these lines. So I should have 8. We're going to call these our blades of our turbine. All right. On all the creases, one more. All right. So with these blades, the other thing I need to do is poke a hole through the center of this. This you can do with something sharp or with just a pencil. If you're using something sharp, make sure you have permission from an adult at home, or an adult is helping you at home to do that. So You want a little bit of a circle in the middle there so that you can get a rod through that later. So now I'm going to take each of my blades and just kind of bend them a little. Now this is going to be one of the areas where we can make an improvement later. And you notice I'm kind of holding my finger up to that middle circle so that I don't bend past that, because we didn't cut past it. We're not really bending past it. I want each of my blades to bend in the same direction, okay? Because they all have to work together to power the turbine, okay? Sorry, we got some noise. All right, so now I'm going to use some of the items I have on my turbine. Hopefully this goes a little quicker. So what you want to do is take a dowel rod or a wooden skewer or something, and you are going to stick it through that center hole. So where I poked the hole in the middle of my turbine, I'm going to stick this wooden skewer through it. Okay, and now I use some tape on the back, masking tape, to secure it so that that turbine's not coming off of that skewer. Okay, on the back end, you are going to take a piece of string and you are tying it onto the back end. Okay, I did 2 knots, make it nice and tight. All right, next you have to take a little, something that's weighted. I used a washer. I tied it to the end of the string. Okay, this way when the wind spins, hopefully our string is going to curl up, wrap around, okay? Then the next part, I'll show that under here. You're gonna take, I use a soup can, you can use anything heavy that's gonna kind of keep the base of your turbine from moving. You wanna take a straw, a plastic straw, tape it to the base so that it's nice and sturdy. I could probably add 1 or 2 more pieces here. Then you are going to cut it. This is the part that gets a little tricky. Let's see if I can show you here nicely. I cut in like triangles at the top so that my wooden rod's going to stick inside this straw. Okay, so as you can see, here's my straw and I'm sticking this in the middle of it. I want to just kind of stick it somewhere in the middle so that my string's not hitting the can. And now I'm going to take my rubber band and fold it kind of over the wooden rod and then tape it. I don't want to make it too tight, but the reason I'm doing this is so that the wooden rod doesn't pop off when we are, you know, putting wind to this. So that's what this tape is going to kind of do for us. And of course, if you ever need more tape, I might have to put more tape on here to get this to work. Let me get my tape. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to tape it a little bit more. So it can still spin, but it's not going to fly off. It can't come off because the rubber bands are holding it, but that gives it flexibility to move still. Okay, that's what we really want. That's kind of what is important to us. Okay, so hopefully that lasts. You can always add more if you need. All right, so there's our wind turbine. We're going to test it with some wind in a little.